What's up, everybody? Welcome to my very first Nerdporeal chill chat. It's going to be kind of like Pacific 414's Pop Talk. I stole his idea, and I told him I stole his idea. So, just here to talk about some pop culture, some stuff that interests me. So, if you're here, welcome. This is going to be an open stream, so I'm going to put the link here if you want to come on, hang out, talk about whatever is going on in pop culture that interests you. I'm going to do so right now. So just give me a second. So how is everybody? How's everybody doing today? I just got the Sonic Origins thing dropped yesterday, but I wasn't paying any attention because I guess I'm out of touch. Despite the fact that my channel name is Nerdporeal, I barely cover news. I mainly work on my own projects, talk about things that I like and stuff, as opposed to talking about all the stuff that comes out now, which is not the best. So yeah, just give me a second here, and yeah, so my bad. There might be a little echo there. So what's up, Padawannabe? How you doing? All right, so let's see here. Invite. Put this up. And then I'm going to pin it to the top. So, all right. So, yep. So my StreamYards is pinned to the top right here. So we just saw the trailer for Sonic Origins. Now that was announced. That was announced a while ago. That was announced about almost a year ago, 11 months. And I actually did a video on the. It was the Sega's 30th anniversary direct that they had. Well, not quite a direct, but it was basically a Sonic direct. So they announced Sonic Origins was the thing that was most that I knew about. That was the thing I was looking forward to the most. The biggest thing that I took away from there. It looks like we got a guest. No, Mas, what's up?
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, not bad. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing my very first pop talk. Oh, it's not pop talk. That's Mike's property. I don't want to get copyright infringement. Nerdporeal chill chat's what I am calling this. So,
Good
um,
enough.
just just talking about things that I'm interested in, and of course, if you have anything you want to talk about that interests you, or that's not on my list of things. Yeah, just I mean, I know a lot of things dropped today. I know the Lightyear trailer, the second trailer dropped today. I didn't even see the first one, so I was going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about Stranger Things, if anybody's seen Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I saw the first three seasons. I plan on doing a future stream talking about season four. And it looks like Netflix is actually going to learn from their mistake and not, put it all out at once. They're doing it. They're doing two tiers of this.
Yeah, they might be coming to the yard a little bit too late, I think, mate.
Well, I mean, they think their stock dropped what 30%. Their stock dropped 30%, and
Yeah.
every other streaming stock dropped as well. So it seems like I don't know what's with these investors. I think these investors are stupid for freaking out over other, similar stock because Netflix went down. Come on,
Yeah. And
I don't
didn't
know.
Disney go down too because of
Well,
other things?
Disney's got its own problems and stuff, and they decided to become political. The last thing you ever want to do is become political because being
Yeah.
political is synonymous with being divisive because there's going to always be two sides regardless of whatever your position is. So that they made a bad move. That was a very stupid move. So whoever was running the account, hopefully they got fired because if I was running the company, I would have fired that. Would have fired whoever was responsible for making that statement,
Yeah.
and now they're going to suffer for it.
Yeah. No, they got other things that drive them, I think, that they can't break away from so easily. I mean, I think they bought completely into ESG scores, and they have to pander to that side.
Mm-hmm.
And they, even if they wanted to break away, it would be really difficult at this point.
Which one should I select? CNN? Oh no, I'm not gonna select CNN.
CNN Plus, is that on?
CNN Plus. No, no CNN Plus. Market Watch, I guess. Stock heads for 17th month lows. Wow, that's quite a bit. That's crazy. Oh well, but yeah. So that's one thing to talk about. So I was thinking of starting with the Sonic update, and I'm just gonna show this really quickly. Besides the Sonic Origins, thing, I also got the Sonic Encyclopedia. So this was done by as you can see, it's done by Dark Horse, and it's just another run of the mill encyclopedia that they've been doing. It's nowhere near as good, in my opinion, as the classic Star Trek encyclopedia, where they had everything in alphabetical order listed and stuff. Here they do something similar with the Zelda stuff. They have basically they just basically have a game by game, so it's more like it's less of an encyclopedia and more like a, kind of more like a just like a catalog or something, basically showcasing all the games, everything that came out. So
Yeah.
so like artwork and like you would think they would have like terms and definitions, but they don't quite. I don't think they quite do that. I mean they have them, but you have to really look for them in the book. But I still think it's worth it was still worth a purchase and
Is
stuff.
there
So
any like synopsis to like backstory of any of the games or an overall arc of the Sonic world?
I don't know. To be honest. I barely looked at this.
Oh, well.
I barely looked at this, but it's got so it goes all the way up to I think it goes all the way up to it goes all the way up to, I think, Sonic Forces. So it goes up to Sonic Forces, and then it's got like a bunch of special appearances in other games, and there's a little glossary in the back of cameos and stuff. So, but yeah, that's basically it. So, did you see the new the open world Sonic?
No, I haven't seen it.
So they're making another game. The final announcement of that trailer last year was basically another 3D Sonic, and it looked like he was spelling out the word Zap. So I kept calling it Sonic Zap, but apparently it's a 3D game. It's an open world game. So they're making an open world Sonic game, and here's the trailer right here. So this is basically what they show. He's being chased, and all of a sudden he's in this massive open world. Take a look. Doesn't this look like a certain? This looks like Breath of the Wild, especially here with this shot right here.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's like you go into an area. There's a weird puzzle, and it looks like there's old technology that's being
Looking for dragons.
done in, and this is like a combination of Breath of the Wild, and of course Breath of the Wild's inspirational visual was Xenoblade Chronicles, which I did play. I played the first game, and I'll to be honest, I don't even remember it.
I'd like to see some gameplay.
Yeah, this is all basically a cutscene, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know when's this coming out. So, but yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if it's a kind of a Breath of the Wild type of game where the gameplay is similar or very similar, I think it'd be interesting to see how they do it with Sonic, and how his powers is and how he moves and stuff.
Yeah. I might as well say hello to everyone that's in the chat right now. So I said hello to Potawanabe, Godzillionaire, new stream idea, the Nerdporeal. Oh my gosh, sounds terrible. Thanks, Godzillionaire. It's actually probably I probably will use it. Disney is going to lose their tax breaks in Florida. It's hilarious, dude. Disney doesn't pay taxes. Yeah, exactly. Disney is like its own entity in Florida. Like they're like country. They're like it's like its own area. So they're because they decided to take a political stance Now, state of Florida is going to try and remove, their, privileges, because I mean that's basically what it was. I don't know I don't know what favors Walt Disney was owed to get all that to get that in the first place and stuff. So I'm curious. I want to read up on the history of Disney World now, because I know that.
I'm sorry. Disney. Florida wanted Disney World so bad that they capitulated to whatever Walt wanted, basically.
I see. Okay. So we got Godzillionaire here. Ellen Copeland says hello. Dark Scorpion says hi, everyone. My friend in real life, Brian Anderson. What's the best Zone song? Oh, the best Zone song? Well, I really like Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic 2. That bass line, Masato Nakamura's, because he was a bass player for Dreams Come True. Masato Nakamura's bass line in Emerald Hill Zone is amazing. And I mean, I love Green Hill. Green Hill's awesome, but I like Emerald Hill Zone even more. I mean, that you just can't go wrong with that bass line. Breath of the Sonic. And everybody knows how I feel about Breath of the Wild as a Zelda game.
Did you like it or not like it?
I mean, the game was fine. I mean, like, if I reviewed it, if I would review it, give it a score, I would say it's an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 for what it was trying to do. But it's too much of a departure, because when I buy a Zelda game, I want to play a Zelda game. I don't want to play an open world game that might have some some of the weaker elements of Skyward Sword, and very little in terms of what makes Zelda stand out from everything else, mainly the dungeon design and stuff.
Yeah,
I want rooms with doors and keys.
Yeah, I understand that.
I don't want to go into 120 mini dungeons that look almost exactly the same. Some of them have various puzzles. I felt like I was playing frickin' what's that game where you do a lot of gravity based puzzles. That Valve game. What's it called? Portal. It felt like I was playing Portal, but without portals. You're using physics based puzzles to proceed and stuff, and they all ended the same. So you knew exactly what you were going to get when you entered the thing. What I liked about old Zelda was whenever you went to a dungeon, you didn't know what you were going to get, and that made it that gave you more of an incentive to explore everything. It was to me it was more exciting, but that's just
spent a lot of time pushing on rocks and stones in that game. That was like half the time. Don't get me wrong, I love Zelda, but that was a big part of or setting bombs in various places to see if it opened up a cave. You spent a lot of time doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so Sonic, sorry, not Sonic, but like Zelda, like they give you everything in the beginning of the game, all the abilities. Now, when you play a Zelda game previously, you go into a dungeon. Part of the excitement going to a dungeon was not only fighting new creatures and solving new puzzles and stuff and figuring new things out in order to get to the boss, but it was also finding out what new ability you were going to get. Now in this Breath of the Wild, you get every ability in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So that makes exploration not so fun, because you're not getting nearly as much out of it. You don't feel I didn't feel the sense of progression. Now I'm in the minority. I know the game sold double of every Zelda title, so people really love their open world games, and I don't think it's gonna change. Will I play Breath of the Wild 2? Yes. Because I don't think it'll return to form, but I think there will be more unique design elements. There'll be more variety of enemies. Hopefully, dungeons will return in some form. I was expecting, they have that big open world. They can make these big, massive dungeons that could probably blow Ocarina of Time and every other, even Twilight Princess away. Like they have that. They have the potential to do that. So,
and I'd like to see some other mistakes being corrected also, with weapons, and to be honest with you, I think the end of the game was a little bit easier than it should have been.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought the ending was kind of underwhelming, to be honest, and just the epilogue, there was barely an epilogue, so you rescue Zelda and that's it. Yay. Yep. So So yeah, I know we're supposed to be talking about Sonic. I'm talking about I got into a Zelda. I'm getting into a Zelda
I went there with you.
rant
My fault
instead.
too.
So, but yeah, everyone, if you want to come on and join, there's a link in the there's a link pinned to the top if you want to come and join the panel. I don't. You can bring whatever you want to talk about. I'm pretty cool with it. So basically, Sonic Origins was basically the trailer was dropped yesterday. It's coming out in June. So so it's going to be all four games. It's going to be all four of the classic games. So it's going to be Sonic Hedgehog 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, and then Sonic 3. But it's going to be Sonic 3 as it was originally supposed to be. The basically Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. So they're going to basically make it into a single game and stuff. So I'm hoping that they include the music that a certain King of Pop, contributed to the game, because I know the PC version of Sonic 3, they took out three of the zones, the music from three of the zones, including Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base. So I'm hoping that hope they work something out with the Jackson estate so that they can bring bring those bring that music in, because the music was a big part of the experience too. So. But yeah,
Yeah.
so they're basically releasing like a whole bunch of like DLC and stuff. Like I have the chart right here. So you have your standard edition, which is just like the game and stuff, and then they have all this other stuff for this deluxe version. So this deluxe version has like a mirror mode where you play, I guess, in a mirror, like you play going the opposite way. Everything is mirrored and stuff. You get like 100 coins, bonus coins, which I don't know what that means because they don't have coins in Sonic. It's rings, golden rings. So you have 100 bonus coins, and I think that's really it. There's additional animations like they showed in the trailer, and yeah, and it's something I'm definitely planning on playing once it comes out. I'm definitely going to stream gameplay of it because I mean it was one of the games I really enjoyed as a kid in the '90s. So,
Yeah. I wish I could have played it more. I didn't have, well, being a poor, I couldn't afford both an NES and a Sega. So
yeah,
NES was the game system of choice. But one I did buy a Sega when I had like a summer job, and I
hmm
felt like rich because I made a pretty decent amount of money that year, and I went
yeah,
out and bought a Sega and a Super NES, I think, or Nintendo 6. No, Super NES, and I got a Sega, and I played Sonic. That was the game that came with it, and that was my first exposure to Sonic.
okay. Yeah, I saw Sonic. My earliest. I mean, I saw Sonic in the store when Funkoland was around in the '90s. So I was like, I think I was 7 or 8, and then they came out with the animated shows that Jaleel White voiced as both Jaleel White voiced as Sonic
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
I watched cartoons.
Yeah, that was there was the really good one. There was the Sad AM one, which was where Sonic Princess Sally and Tails and Antoine and all of the animal buddy his animal friends are hiding in the forest from Robotnik, played by not Vince Jim Cummings. And this version of Robotnik is sinister and menacing, and if you get caught by like his robots, they will like literally assimilate you. Not like the Borg or anything, but they roboticize you and stuff.
Yeah.
There's always a looming sense of danger. And then the show got canceled. They were going to bring a wizard in to take over as the main villain that we meet in, I think, the second season. So that show got canceled, and then of course the original writer who was developing that final season, he passed away. I forget his name, but yeah, that was another missed opportunity. It was only 26 episodes,
Mm.
and
That's
then you
probably
had
why
the
I don't remember, because I don't remember a lot about it because I probably went through the first season, and it never had another one. So
yeah, exactly. So and then of course there was the wacky adventures. This one was called Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, where it was more, how would I say it? it was more like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
So Robotnik was kind of like Wile E. Coyote, maybe Yosemite Sam and stuff, or Sylvester the cat. You know, the more the kind of more not so
Kitty.
menacing, but more
Yeah.
he's the typical, he always gets owned by Sonic, and then of course his henchmen are complete buffoons because it's a cartoon.
Of course.
So yeah, those were the two. That's how I got into Sonic. That's how I first really got into Sonic. And then I just really, I think it was '94. I just turned 10. I saw Sonic and Knuckles on the commercial and stuff, and I was like, I want to get a Sega. And my folks were doing my folks were not doing well financially, and this was something I begged for. And I say this in my Sonic retrospective. I begged for a Sega. And I was at the point now. I knew there was no Santa Claus, so I knew to harass my parents enough to say hey, to get a Sega and stuff. And they actually admitted, they got pissed off at me enough to the point where they admitted that they got the system. So I knew that they got it before Christmas and stuff. So
wait, what? There's no Santa Claus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're after you're 9, there's no Santa Claus. At least that was for me. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so if you're young and you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
You done ruined it, man.
Yeah. So, but it was one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite Christmases. I got Sonic 2 and Sonic 3.
Awesome.
Sonic and Knuckles was not available, so I just got. So my folks they bought the Sega that came with Sonic 2. So I didn't play the first Sonic the Hedgehog for years. So I got the second model of the Sega, which was much smaller, and that broke on me. Like that broke within a year.
Wow.
Like every time I tried to put on the game would freeze after that. So I ended up I couldn't play the Sega anymore.
Yeah.
So it was Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo did not fail me once. So I continued my gaming with playing Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong 3, Super Mario RPG, all those games. So, and I mentioned everything I'm talking about now I've mentioned in a retrospective of sorts. So, so we got Leia Rose here, Star Wars Santa, Pop Culture Mechanic, Pacific's here. I thought he was just playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, the copy that I sent him for a giveaway and stuff. I'm gonna tell everyone that he's playing what used to be my copy. But I upgraded. I got integrated now on PS5. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna eventually play that myself. Castlevania 3 on NES. I have not played Castlevania 3. I've only played the first game. I've played the first Castlevania, and getting through level 5 with death, because you only could get hit 4 times and you're dead, was a miracle. Especially he had the sine wave Medusa heads coming at you, and then you had the axe throwing knights throwing stuff at you too. So you had to deal with that. Then you had death, and he was throwing scythes at you, scythes from all directions and stuff. So beating that level was tough. That was the first one, and I didn't play that until I got the Wii. So I didn't own Castlevania on NES. I actually got the first. I got it on the Wii Virtual Console and stuff because everyone recommended it. Everyone was like, "I played this as a kid. This is a great game." I thought it was a puzzle game, but it was actually you're fighting Dracula. You're going into a castle. It's a platformer. You're fighting Dracula. So yeah.
The games that were so hard to beat, they drove me away most of the time. Sometimes I would still go back, even though I knew I was never going to beat them, like Metroid or Bionic Commando or something, because you don't get any continues. Well, no Metroid, you get the code, but you still have to start like from the very beginning of the level with like low health and low missiles and stuff. But
yeah,
but if it was too stinking hard and I spent hours playing it. Eventually, I'll just put it down and forget I ever saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did even Metroid. Same as Castlevania. Metroid, I did not play until I was in college. So when the Wii came out, when Metroid Prime 3 came out, that's when Nintendo dropped Metroid and Super Metroid on the Wii Virtual Console, and that's how I played those. And whoa, I played first Metroid. First Metroid is hard. It's
Yeah, it
very
is.
hard. It's like I still have a hard time beating even with 99.5% of the upgrades. I still have a hard time beating Mother Brain at the end of the game.
Yeah. I ain't even got that far. I'm to the first boss, I think.
Yeah.
And I was playing for a long time and mapping it and everything, and then I finally made it there, got killed, and then I saw some guy's video on how to beat it, and it's like, oh, it's just all about timing and hitting it with missiles and stuff, and I could do it, but I never went back and play it. I need to go back and play it now that I know how to kill it.
So yeah, anyone that's listening, anyone that's listening, there's a link tagged to the top. So if you want to join the discussion, come on in and stuff. It's mainly this is mainly a chill stream. I just put subjects up there just to give this a little bit of a sense of structure, you know. So Zan Zoltan's here. What's up, Zan Zoltan? He's at his brother's house. What's up? All the way, talking to us all the way from Argentina, from South America. So, all right. So, I am definitely looking forward to Sonic Origins. I already showed the Sonic Frontiers game. I think it's going to be decent. Hopefully, I'll have to look. I generally look at reviews because I didn't even bother with Sonic Forces because of all the bad reviews that I saw. Because when it comes to reviews, I tend to, especially with Sonic games, sometimes reviewers are kind of unfair. Like there was the Alien Isolation, which was, especially IGN, which was mainly done by IGN, but IGN gave it a very poor score, and because of that, the game didn't sell well.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't buy it for a long time because it got a reputation, I guess.
Yeah, and then I played it. I played the game, and it's probably the scariest game I've ever played.
Yeah,
and
I loved it.
It's an amazing atmosphere. If you're a fan of the original Alien Isolation is a great game to play, and it's a great game to stream too and stuff. So I played it on normal, and I've seen people try to play it on like super duper. I forget what they call it, like chillingly difficult or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and it gets hard to the point where the alien can follow you in the ventilation ducts. Like usually when I was playing the game, I could hide in the those round ventilation ducts that look kind of like the Metroid morph ball holes, which is what I mean. Metroid is based off the visual the visual of Metroid is kind of based off of is actually pretty based off of Alien. So so the whole that ventilation shaft. I mean. Yeah, you go into they had all the blueprints, they had all the designs of the original film, all the production designs, and they were able to basically make a very faithful recreation of the type of the look of the original film. And then you have the aliens actually look like Giger aliens; they don't look bug-like they did in Aliens.
Yeah.
So when the alien can open, like if you're hiding in a locker. You have to hold your breath. You have to press hit a button to hold your breath. Because if you don't hold your breath, the alien's going to hear you. It's going to open the thing and it's going to kill you. It's going to stick its inner jaw and bite you. It's going to do a head. It's going to bite you in the head and stuff. So
you had to move over away from the slats too. I was always moving to the left, to try to make sure you couldn't see me through the little peepholes in the locker. I don't know if that did any good, but I did it anyway just because it was so freaking scary.
Input says, wasn't Alien Isolation the one where the entire AI was broken by one typo? I have no idea. I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to look up and find out.
I didn't notice any breakage.
Godzillionaire says Sonic Forces is worth playing. It's not a good game because the controls are freaking awful, but it was a cool concept. Yeah, it was another awful game, Sonic 2006. Now I haven't played it, but I've watched my friend play it. And that game is like the epitome of a broken game and stuff. So that's a game, if they ever, they would need to completely rehaul it if they ever want to re-release it and stuff. And they've re-released Sonic Colors, and Sonic Colors ended up being worse than its original release. They released a Switch version, a port of it on the Switch. I've heard nothing but negativity about it, so... Keely Chow is here. What's up, Keely Chow? He says hashtag proper raid. Okay. Hey, hi everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. That's every time he says hey everybody, I think of Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. So let's go on. So you have anything else you want to add or?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Oh, holy crap. We have another guest.
Ooh.
Oh my God, it's Mike.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How's I thought you were playing Final Fantasy. You didn't have to
but
quit. You didn't have to quit your game on my account. I know. I like to, I like to make people feel guilty for not, coming to my streams, but still.
No, Slubs was having connection issues, and I don't feel that I should give people a low quality stream when it's doing that. So I'll try it another night.
Well, that's what makes you better than Disney, Hollywood, a lot of people. So you're awesome, Mike. So I think the next thing I wanted to talk about was Stranger Things. Now it's been almost as long between the last season of Stranger Things and this upcoming season, but not quite as long as the Orville. The Orville still has it beat by over 3 years. This is just under 3 years, because the last season 3 for Stranger Things, was dropped July 4th of July. Actually, now, they've been dropping their stuff. The last couple seasons they've dropped on holidays. So like season 2 was dropped on Halloween of 2017, and then season 3 was dropped on 4th of July of 2019. So it's going to be almost 3 years. It's going to be almost 3 years to this to season 3. So it's been quite a long time. So I think the last we left off with this show was one of the characters dies. I forget the sheriff guy. I forget his name. The sheriff guy dies. He gets basically he's in the Russian portal machine thing, and then he just, like, the machine is about to go off, and he just vanishes. And the beautiful thing about marketing now, new seasons and stuff, is that they have to reveal stuff ahead of time. Why do they do this? Like, they revealed like 6 months later, 6 months to a year later, they had a season 4 teaser trailer, and they revealed that he was alive. Why did they do that? That would have been a great thing to, show in the show, not in the freaking marketing.
Actually, did you not see the end credits for the last episode? Because they showed they had one of those monsters in Russia. And
yeah, that's right. And they said, bring out the American. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. But I thought they were talking about, honestly, you know who I was thinking they were talking about? The doctor from season 1.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were talking about him because he was missing.
Matthew Modine.
Yeah, Matthew Modine's character. He was missing ever since season 1. So what happened to him? So I assumed that he was probably kidnapped by, the evil Russians, because, it's the 80s and the Russians were the bad guys of the world. Yeah, and now they're the bad guys of the world again.
The one I didn't understand when that happened, because I would assume that the sheriff went into the Upside Down because the portal was open, but then he ended up in Russia.
Yeah,
like, how did that happen? But they did get himself one of the monsters. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know why in general, in media and stuff, I don't know why they reveal stuff ahead of time. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm big Better Call Saul fan, big Breaking Bad fan. I'm very happy with what Peter Gould and the rest of the team did, and this opening episode of the final season, which just dropped on Monday. I haven't been this excited for a show since Game of Thrones season 8. And we all know how Game of Thrones season 8 turned out.
Mm-hmm.
It took me months to get over it. It was that big of a letdown for me, because it was, the earlier seasons were just so good, and then it just went to complete crap. I don't think it's going to be the case for Better Call Saul, but Better Call Saul did the same thing. I guess Peter Gould said there's additional stuff that they're going to reveal. But they revealed that Walt and Jesse from Breaking Bad are going to be in the show. I felt like if they would have just showed the episode and had them surprise us, I feel like that would have been a better move than just, than just bringing it up. I know everybody's so, there's so much competition. Everybody's desperate for viewers and desperate for views and stuff, so they're willing to, spoil shit.
Yeah. That don't make any sense to me.
Why?
I remember the good old days when things just popped in. Oh my gosh, what? They're in the
Yeah.
show.
Exactly.
Or, something that they could do to, because even back then it wasn't a, watch or binge them all. So if something happened that night, well, back then, I mean, you couldn't see it again until the summertime. So, but most people had appointment TV. They knew if they liked the show, they were there watching it. They weren't,
Yeah.
holding off and stuff like that. So most everybody would get the reaction that week or the day it was on.
Yeah.
Well, you
it
need
just
to build
seems-
up that anticipation for what's coming up next. You don't want to just throw it out there all at once. What are you giving your audience if you don't give them something to wait for?
a trailer. You just give them a trailer that shows very, very little, but shows enough to drum excitement, not reveal spoilers and stuff. That's kind of like revealing like a character and stuff, like especially an important character. I feel is something that they shouldn't do in a trailer, or even they don't even do it in trailers. They do it in they have freaking IGN or some stupid Access Media reveal it for them and stuff. Some press release or something. Twitter.
Imagine
or
if
something.
that happened during the summer of '90 when people were waiting for Best of Both Worlds Part 2.
Yeah, Picard. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Oh, yeah. There's gonna. They don't. Nothing happens to the Borg. Nothing happens to the Borg ship after Riker says fire. So that I don't know. I don't know. So honestly, I actually prefer part 1 to part 2. To be honest, I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I think part 1 was.
I think
part 1
one's
really
stronger.
part 1 is unprecedented in building up anticipation. So, like the feeling of of you, like if someone told Patrick Stewart, "You ruined my summer," and yeah, well, it wasn't Patrick Stewart's fault; it was the writers. They blame Michael Piller for that.
Yep.
But part 2 was, I mean, part 2 was okay, but I think part 2 was a bit of a missed opportunity. I think they should have showed the Battle of Wolf 359. I think the Enterprise should have been part of it.
Yep. And spoiler alert for Tuesday Night Trek, I think Picard should have died when the Borg cube was destroyed.
Oh,
That's
yeah. Oh. I didn't know you thought that way, Mike. I didn't know that.
Well, I've always looked at it this way. He's connected to the hive mind, meaning he
Yeah.
would be experiencing everything that was going on that ship at that very moment, and that should have killed the character.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like he would have, and so it doesn't really make sense because he's the first. He's literally the first. The whole idea of assimilating started with Locutus and stuff. So that was a big, like you went like, oh no, the Borg can do that now. Holy crap, this is terrible. And then after that, everybody started getting assimilated. And then we meet Seven of Nine. They remove her implants, but she still has to have some on her because the show needs to remind us that she's still Borg and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas they were able to take all of Picard's implants off of him right away. So
he didn't
family
have
is
him for so long. I guess that's their reasoning behind it.
Okay, that sounds fair. But yeah, going back to TNG, but Best of Both Worlds.
I'm gonna say, if Picard had died in that episode, we wouldn't have Picard TV show today.
Yeah, it'd be. But yeah, one of the most powerful moments in that episode was when Riker is like literally says he's looking at Picard's chair in the ready room, and he's like, "What would you?" He's like literally says, "What would you do?" And then Guinan shows up, and Guinan basically says, "Hey, you're gonna have to let go of Picard." And he's like,
That's your chair
well,
now.
you don't. Yeah, he's like, well, you don't understand. I nearly killed him yesterday. She's like, well, yeah. Our friendship is. I don't know what that means, but she says our friendship is beyond friendship, beyond our relationship is beyond friendship, beyond family. And I will let him go. But that was a very powerful scene right there. So, but I want to talk about Brian's comment right here. So the main villain is Vecna. I don't know if Vecna's the same as the Mind Flayer. It's a human form of the Mind Flayer, and he kind of looks like a spider / Doc Ock knockoff, I'm guessing. And
More tentacles.
More tentacles. And they literally, the designer said he wanted to make him look like a Chernobyl victim. I'm not joking. Like like a Chernobyl, like this was based off of like how people, who were like in Chernobyl and stuff looked or something. So,
Really?
but yeah, something like that.
Well,
Yeah, so it's right here. Gower this is Gower's the prosthetics, who did this. And it says, for a long time I've been working on the Night King in Game of Thrones and on the radiation victims in Chernobyl. The look is for Vecna. Oh, okay, no, it's not based off of that. It's just that the person that did it. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong about that. So Vecna is done by the same person that did the did the makeup for the radiation victims.
Maybe taking some aspects of each to incorporate into that character.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, we leave off, so what's his name? David, what's his
Harbour.
name? David Harbour's character. I can't
Champagne
remember his
socialist.
Champagne. Yeah. I don't remember his character's name, but he's in Russia. So they all think he's dead. Crazy Winona Ryder thinks he's dead. And so because of that whole thing, her and her son Will, and what's the older son's name? I can't think of the older sons. I forgot the characters' names. Mike. Was it Mike?
Which kid is it?
Charlie Heaton's character. He plays the older Byers.
Oh, okay, the
Will,
Byers.
the one that was kidnapped in the first season.
Yeah.
And then there was his older brother, and of course his older brother, he was the creepy guy with the camera.
Yeah.
And then he gets the girl. He steals Steve Harrington's girl. And I remember Steve Harrington's name, Joe Carey's character.
Mm-hmm.
And he still has the hair. And he's still in the show. He's like the dad now, or the babysitter. At least that's what everyone's calling. That's what most fans call him now. And he's kind of grown. I like him a lot more now after watching seasons 2 and 3 and stuff. So, yeah. So they're them and 11, because 11 was under the guardianship of David Harbour. They move away to, I think, California now. So there's going to be a lot of California 80s, 1980. I'm guessing this takes place in 1986. Because the last season takes place in 1985 in the summer. So, and then apparently there's going to be haunted houses. This creature named Vecna is going to be the main villain. And they did clarify that this is going to be the second to last season. So season 5, or Stranger Things 5, is going to be the final season. I mean, the kids they're all like all those kids now who were like 12 or 13 when the first season came out. They're now like, they're going to be 19, 20 years old now. So by the time the show ends, they're going to be like 23, 24 years old. So good time to end the show before they look too old and stuff. So,
they kind of already do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
trying to
Hollywood
think.
can do.
Yeah, so I'm definitely once the show comes out, I definitely want to do a stream of a stream, with you guys, if you guys want to do it, talk about the first 3 seasons, and then once this drops a few days later, then talk about the half of the show that dropped, and then follow suit in the summer when the second half drops. So
yeah, well, it's like I said to you into the DM. I haven't watched the show before, but I can be a quick study.
Okay, I thought you watched the show. That's the reason why I offered it. I wanted to find someone with So, but yeah, if you watch it, that'd be great. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come on.
Okay.
So the Tad That Shouldn't Be says, "Evening all." Pad Wannabe says, "There were no spoilers back when I was younger. If you missed it and didn't know, whoops. Yeah, people were still going to talk about it in front of you or not. Yeah. Back then. Didn't dinosaurs roam the earth back then too? In the 80s,
you had to beat them off with a stick.
Yeah, exactly. But Wannabe says, "I understood 7 of 9 was so young when she was assimilated they couldn't remove all her parts." Oh, yeah. That's probably what it was. So, oh, Okay, it says, "Oh God, they're making a season 5 too. Just let, just let it die, man." I didn't hate this season. I didn't. My one of my big problems with the third season was mainly the first episode. They just kept playing. They just kept playing almost every '80s pop song from 1985. I'm like, I don't want to hear '80s pop songs. I want to see a story unfold, or the setup. It's episode 1, so I want to see a setup of a story unfold. I don't want to see characters to some stupid. I mean, I like '80s music, but I don't want. I've heard '80s music. I'm not watching Stranger Things to hear more '80s music that I've heard millions of times before.
Member berries, man. They need to get you in that mindset that it's all in the '80s in the mall and corn dog on a stick or hot dog on a stick or whatever it is. And but I think they went overboard a little bit. I mean, you can still do an '80s time period thing like this and not overwhelm the audience with all stuff that was in the '80s. I mean, there's a lot, and they put a lot in there.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like look at them. They're all well. I don't know who this guy is. This guy I've never seen before. But look at him. He's practically an adult now. Remember, he was a little kid that was crying in season 1. He's taller than his brother too. And then there's I forget. I just don't remember their names.
That's
and then
Mike.
Of course that's Mike. And this is, of course, is 11. She basically took control because she's the key to this whole show. Remember that, she's the key to this whole show. And she lost her powers at the end of season 3. So I'm curious what they're gonna do. I'm wondering if that X-Men squad that she met in season 2 is gonna come back at all. I like how I was curious if they were gonna bring them back for season 3, and they didn't. I heard there was nothing but backlash when that came out, because they went from there was 9 episodes. Now the first season had 8 episodes, but the second season had 9 episodes, and that episode 7 was just her going to Chicago. She was going to Chicago to hang out with a bunch of punks who had very X-Men like abilities and stuff. So, everybody's like, "What the hell? Like, what the hell is this? We don't want this. Nobody wanted this."
Turn into goth chick, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I wasn't critical of the episode. But it was definitely ruined the pacing and stuff, because the last episode before ended on a massive cliffhanger. So, but I didn't have a big problem with it, and they did reveal Dr. Gordon's from Saw, the Matthew Modine's doctor.
Yeah.
Dr.
Martin
Brenner. Dr. Brenner is alive, according to his assistant, the guy that they try to kill and stuff. And I think they're like, "Oh, we're not going to kill you," or did they? I don't remember if they killed that guy. Remember? I don't even remember. I have to rewatch seasons 1 through 3 before I.
No, I don't think she let him kill him.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, so I don't know who that. So they're playing. So I'm guessing this is in
D&D.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is a new guy. And they were playing. I don't want to show the trailer because the trailer was playing freaking Separate Ways from Journey.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing about trailers now: they keep playing freaking pop songs amongst the typical standard sounds that they use when they do trailers now. It's like it's all run of the mill the same, and then they play either they play covers of them or something. Like, I was just listening to the first Lightyear trailer, which I want to talk about after this. They're playing freaking Starman by David Bowie. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, stop with the pop music. Play something original. Play an awesome tune that the musician of the show came up with.
They can't have an original movie. How can they have an original song to go with it?
Yeah,
they steal from the past on everything now.
Original thoughts are a thing of the past.
Mandalorian. I mean, I know a lot of people like. I call him Ennio Morricone hippie wannabe guy. I forget his name. He's his name is Wolfgang or something. He's got a German name. I think it's German or Austrian or something. He basically composed the Mandalorian to sound like a Morricone piece.
Werner Herzog?
Morricone. Now Werner Herzog's the actor. He's old. He's an old guy.
All right, all right.
Now
Sorry.
the composer's a young guy. He's like my age. He's in his 30s. Um, he's in his 30s, and it's yeah. And the theme for the Mandalorians, it's not a bad theme, but I just wanted, when I first watched the show, when the first season came out, I was expecting a Star Wars theme. I was expecting something John Williams esque and stuff.
Yeah, until it was a Western, um, you know, High Plains Drifter or something type of soundtrack.
Hey, Whoop! I don't know what you're doing, but if you want to come on, the link's up there. The link's up and the link's pinned to the top if you want to join the party. So, all right. So this is a new character. I have no idea who that is. Apparently, but he's the one. I think he's the one in the trailer that plays the. They're playing like he's playing like a rock concert. So I'm guessing the power of rock and roll is effective against evil, just like in Star Trek Beyond. Remember that? Remember that movie?
I don't
That's
want to
what
remember that. Stop it.
Remember that. So I'm thinking something
Star
similar
Trek
with this
Beyond.
guy.
I don't recall there being a Star Trek Beyond.
I'll say
Beyond-
this.
beyond
I'll
my
say this.
memory.
You know who he kind of reminds me of? He reminds me of the director of the sixth Friday the 13th movie, Tom McLaughlin. He looks just like if Tom McLaughlin was a kid, that would be him and stuff. The long frizzy hair and
No.
he's the guitarist to get that 80s look and stuff.
That's every kid I went to school with. That guy right there.
Okay.
You know, I swear there's probably 50 of them in my class that look exactly like that guy.
Whoopus says, I would consider joining, but I was already late to the stream because of my internet, so I'm being risky if I do. Well, it doesn't hurt us. So, and we all know your situation. So if you accidentally get cut off and stuff, we won't hold it against you.
What's up with everybody's internet?
It's the same. It's the same as everything. Everything's corporatized now, so there's lack of quality in everything going on. I mean, if you ever been to a good restaurant that's been corporatized, the quality goes down. My friend Brian can attest to this in some of the places that we've gone to in Chicago. It's all that. Now, I don't know.
I know some have
everybody's
bad
just selling out. Everybody's just selling out, and this is part of the thing with the music too that I was thinking about. Is that everybody's selling out? Hey, you want to play our music? Sure, just give us $5-10 million. Yeah, we'll let you play it as much as you want. Like Microsoft paid Mick Jagger $10 million to play Start Me Up on their commercial for Windows something back then.
It's crazy. Well, if they're willing to pay it.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Kuma's Corner, a burger place they name their burgers after rock bands. So like, there's a Led Zeppelin burger, there's a Mastodon burger, there's a Slayer burger, which is like super duper spicy because Slayer, get it? Mm-hmm. Slayer is spicy. Mm-hmm. Slayer and Mastodon, all the heavy metal bands really have their own burger and stuff. And they used to be super duper good, and then they started, they got bought out by a big company, and they started using, just to penny pinch. They started using crappier ingredients, and because of that, the quality went down. And we don't go there. My buddy and I, we don't go there anymore. So
that sucks, man. I know how you feel. It's just I can't get a decent burger in my area except for one place. It's a little country store out in the middle of nowhere. And it's the best burger you never ate. I promise you. It's all the ingredients, all the stuff you put on it are like homegrown, fresh. Wow. Patty is thin and crispy, and bacon.
Is it one of those smash burgers? No,
it's not a smash burger. It's got a little thickness to it, but it's not super thin. It's not like you can read a newspaper through it. But
okay.
It's one patty. That's all you need. It is so freaking awesome. It is a staple burger place in my area. Now, if I could take everybody there to go eat a burger, I would. You'd die.
Heart attack waiting to happen.
Heck yeah.
All right. So I'm guessing this is Dustin right here because he always wears the cap, and I think that might be. I don't know who that is. It's hard to tell. Looks like they're in that haunted house right here. I don't know what this is, but I'm guessing he's a new character. Native American, definitely, I think. And let's see. I don't know if is this. I don't know if this is this the same guy. I'm guessing maybe that is.
Maybe.
That's This is Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter. This is Maya Hawke, right here. She was in season 3. She was first for a second. He thought she was interested in him, but we actually find out that she was interested in the girl that was interested in him. So she's part of the alphabet community. But I liked her character a lot. I liked her
lesbian
character a lot.
sailor.
She was pretty cool. Yeah, I liked her a lot. She was pretty cool. I think her character, I forget her name, the redhead, the sister of
Max.
Billy. What's her name?
Max.
Max. Okay. She was Mad Max, and I think in season 2.
Yeah.
All right. I liked her more in season 3. I felt like her character grew quite a bit. His sister is her. I can't stand her. She is insufferable.
She was pretty annoying. Sassy little girl. That's all you.
Hey, there's David Harbour. I guess Hellboy failed. I forget. Did Hellboy bomb his Hellboy?
Yes. So bad.
It seems like people that play Hellboy are crazy. I'm just saying, because the guy that played Hellboy before, who played a certain Riemann in Star Trek Nemesis, is kind of
crazy
too.
There. Stupid.
Hey, I remember this guy. That was I forget what his name is. I liked their dynamic last season. Murray. I like Murray, and I liked Murray and David Harbour and Winona Ryder. They had a pretty funny chemistry. And then they had the Russian guy. They had the Russian guy with them, and the Russian guy died, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, they're giving him like American stuff, and he was really enjoying it. And I was like,
he's gonna defect. I was thinking he was gonna defect.
Yeah,
he didn't make it.
What did you think of Dustin being forced, like, despite the fact that they had no time to do anything, Dustin was forced by the girl that he was talking to online to sing the Never Ending Story song?
I'm sorry.
I laughed. I saw that, because I liked the song. But
I loved it. I'm sorry, I loved it. I couldn't help myself.
No, never ending story. Okay,
it was awkward, but I still liked it. I don't know what to say. Yeah, everybody else was like, "You're a big giant."
Yeah, if I sing the song, Lamal's gonna send me a copyright strike.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to sing it. But yeah, so season 4 is looking to be. I'm guessing they. So season 3 basically they're split. You know, there's always that point in a story, in a long running story, where all the characters split off. Like they go in different directions. Game of Thrones did it. Lots of Expanse did it. Lots of shows do that. So we have two, like, one's in Indiana, Hawkins, which is the setting, and then we have the other half, I believe, in California. So I believe that they both. I don't know. I believe they both find something that has a linchpin with this creature, and they eventually come together. One thing I do know, you know who is coming back this season? Paul Reiser's coming back.
Yeah, I saw him in the trailer.
So I can't wait to. I'm wondering what they're going to do with him. I was surprised. I didn't think he was going to live past season 2. And he makes a very brief appearance in season 3 when he comes in with, the U.S. Army to secure the secret Russian facility and stuff. But I thought that bringing in the Russians was a good idea. It made it more 80s and stuff, because 80s entertainment. And like I said earlier, Russia are the bad guys.
Yeah, they were the bad guys of the 80s and 90s.
I mean, you had Rambo 2. You had Red Dawn. Well, Red Dawn was mainly. Red Dawn was Russian, but it was also
the first one was Russian.
Yeah, and of course you had which I still have to say. I still have to see Firefox, and who's in Firefox besides Clint Eastwood? Actor that plays Admiral Piet from Star Wars.
Oh, really?
He's in that movie too. Yeah, so he's actually in other movies. So, but of course nobody's going to remember that.
No.
So we have Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Says the cringe nearly gave me arthritis. So, so that's Stranger Things more or less. So there's this another demo creature based off of Dungeons and Dragons, and oh, they're gonna be
Demo
They're gonna be
bat.
interesting demo bats now. Well, that's gonna be creepy as heck. So yeah, so that season, so season 4 is coming. I'll be honest, I wasn't really, itching to watch it. Like, I wasn't itching to watch this show as much as like something like Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul's been good all across the board. But I still have, I really love season 1. First 4 episodes. The moment I started watching those first 4 episodes, I couldn't stop watching. But then episode 5 slowed everything down because they went into John Hughes territory with Mike's sister, I forget her name, and of course Steve Harrington, and it just got kind of boring at that point. Then episode 6 or 7 kind of picked it up again, and then it ended. And I was surprised that they were going to continue it. I thought it was going to be an anthology because the way season 1 ended was, they rescue Will, everything's great, but then he spits out a little demo creature, kind of like, because they kind of wanted to make it look like aliens, because how like Ripley rescues Newt and she's like almost nearly cocooned up. Well, he was kind of cocooned up similarly, and he had something stuck in his throat.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you had the face hugger, they had their little phallus in their hands stuck in throats and stuff. Same idea. So I thought that was going to be like I thought that was going to be a little twist of an ending, like a Twilight Zone type of thing, where it would have just ended. The anthology would have ended, on a creepy note, because that's how anthology shows usually end and stuff. But they made it into a full series where we continue with the characters and stuff. So I was surprised.
Yeah, I figured it would continue at the end of when Hopper was taking the food out and putting it in the little wooden container, and for 11.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's doing that. That means she's out there somewhere.
Yeah, because like the way they made it looked like she completely got vaporized, like she completely blew herself up because she used like the fullest of her power. Yeah. She went to like level 200 in her power level, and she just completely like her eyes went black, her nose was bleeding, and she just vanished. She got vaporized, but no, she just went to another dimension. They kind of retconned that a little. Yeah. I think they retconned that. I think she was originally supposed to die, but I think they just brought her back. Like, oh no, she didn't die. She just went to another dimension. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they did it in a way where they could pull that off. I think instead of just dying or destroying the creature, they opened up a portal or we just like beamed into the upside down sort of thing. So I could. It was good enough where I could buy it.
And we got another guest. We have Matt, the unbearable 73, the Tad that shouldn't be. What's up?
How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Had a little afternoon nap. Feeling good,
That's good.
I did a little teeth pulling getting my video out there, but the one I was, wanted to.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I'm in the same boat.
Kept getting interrupted by like backing up trucks and people knocking on my door, and but wanted to drop in because you mentioned the demo creature. It's called Demogorgon.
Yeah,
the dragons. It's actually a mythological creature that AD&D and other RPGs adopted. That's actually why I first got interested in Stranger Things, even though I'd never stuck with it after the first season because of all the D&D tie-ins they had to it.
Yeah, like the Mind Flayer, I believe, is in D&D, and of course, I see something similar in like the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, well, I mean, the concept of Mind Flayer is loosely drawn from mythology too, but back in it's an undead priest. We've heard about those before. It's just interesting That's why they can do this stuff without licensing it, basically, because it's some of the survivors Beck gonna have to be licensed, but not like Demogorgon per se.
What's up, Cosmo James? If you want to join the panel, the links up in the is pinned up to the top. If you want to join the panel, so. All right, but so Stranger, all the creatures and stuff are based off of, and I'm not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons. I know, all I remember is that the original creator died like about back when I was in college, late 2000s and stuff, and the company that owns Dungeons and Dragons is going in a certain direction that rhymes with bloke and stuff. I read something on Twitter that was just like, you're just saying, like, they literally said like all their old stuff was insensitive to what all the old stuff that came out before was insensitive, and I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. Like, what, you're saying your stuff now is not insensitive? You're saying it was wrong then and it's wrong now? I'm like, come on.
That could be a whole other video topic of the old TSR, which is the one you're talking about, versus the new TSR that some of the original founders of the old TSR made. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like you want people are sick of the. Once again, people are you become political, you become divisive. I mean, my goal is never to be political on my channel. Like, it just alienates people. You say one thing, it alienates one side. You say another thing, it alienates the other side. Just don't freaking do it. Stop. What does Michael Jordan say? Stop. What's that little thing that he does? It's like, stop it. Get a hold of yourself. All right, so that was Stranger Things. Guys, have anything you want to talk? Any other pop culture stuff?
Oh, what about what Chase Masterson said at Mission Chicago, along with Nana Visitor and Alexander Siddig, about their only reasoning for wanting to come back to a continuation of DS9 is if it focuses on social justice?
I mean, there's a way to tell a story about social justice. I mean, Star Trek has done it before, but the way they're telling it now seems to be they don't give and better YouTubers have said this. They don't give you food for thought. They just simply tell you what to think. Because there's always implications. I mean, there's no right side. It's a heavily nuanced. Any issue is heavily nuanced. There's two sides to it. And you have to, whenever there's a decision to make, you have to kind of weigh both sides in. If you want to, make a good, have a really balanced opinion of it. And if you don't provide a balanced, point of view, it's like, what did they say exactly? I'm looking. I'm trying to look it up right now.
I can get it for you. I used it for Pop Talk.
They don't want a balanced point of view. They want, and I'm not going to do the political version of this, but they want their point of view to be considered the truth. And fine, if they want to do that, well, we don't have to pay for it or watch it.
I mean, the first priority of any show is to entertain. You have to entertain your audience, and then after that, you can put any messaging you want, as long as it's, once again, you don't want to be divisive on a certain thing. Now, I'm not saying, and you're talking, people that watch Star Trek are generally adults, but there's kids watching it too, and the kids are learning stuff. So showing all this graphic violence, characters acting like children, showing murder and stuff, just doesn't belong in Star Trek. Star Trek has been around 40. Star Trek was around 39 years and was very consistent. Was mostly consistent with everything. I mean, they did have to reinvent, change stuff like TNG. To me, I love TOS. TOS is still my favorite of all the Star Trek shows, but TNG did things differently. They took it to a new level. It became more of a character-based show where we care more about all the characters as opposed to just the main three, which was the case in TOS, and even in the original TOS movies. So in those ways, the DS9, Voyager, all benefited from what TNG started. Enterprise too. Enterprise, I feel they had a terrible theme song, and and here's the thing: they didn't even call it Star Trek; they just called it Enterprise when it first came out. And I'll be honest, I did not like that, so I didn't watch it. And then my friend told me to watch it, and I finally watched. I got the DVDs and watched it like years later, like a few years after the show ended. And then I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." Seasons 3 and 4, and the second half of season 2 was actually pretty good.
Yeah, once Manny Koto came on board, the show really improved.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. So
And I like the fact that they focused, they dedicated time to each character.
there were great episodes of Deep Space Nine, like the episode Cardassians with Garrick and Ducat and them. I mean, there was an episode where a Cardassian boy was raised by Bajorans, and the Bajorans basically taught the Cardassian boy about all the atrocities that the Cardassians did against them, and so the Cardassian boy ended up hating members of his own race, and that was the big thing of the episode. I don't remember. I forget exactly how it ends. I'd have to rewatch it, but that was a very poignant topic and stuff. And I felt, and I was interested in seeing how things turned out and stuff. So I forget, but I think like the Cardassian boy was supposed to be like the son of a big legate, a high ranking legate. I think, what does he do? He spits at him and then runs off.
Yeah.
And then and then it becomes like a big controversy around the station. They have to do something about it. So, but yeah, I mean, you can do social issues. I mean, the Orville already does it, and they do it better. So,
And I put the link to that article in the private chat.
all right, I'll click on it now. Let's take a look. And okay. Chase Masterson says she would only return for continuation if it had to do with social justice. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but social justice has become synonymous with a lot of stuff.
Now, her
I don't want to get
character
into.
was basically like a space prostitute. I mean,
She was a Dabo girl.
yeah. I mean, think about what she's saying. She's like she demeaned women, right, for how many years playing a Dabo girl, and now she wants to come back for social justice, right? So
Maybe she maybe she works herself up. Now she's no longer a Dabo girl. Maybe she's now a Dabo lady.
or she married Rom, so she's like an ultra rich Ferengi wife now.
Yeah.
Because Rom is the Grand Nagus.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It's been a while since I watched Deep Space Nine. That's how it ends. Yeah. So, though currently in the age of endless reboots and continuations, some of Star Trek Deep Space Nine's cast members, I did see What You Left Behind. I did see that documentary, and I felt the documentary was pretty. It was trying to be very that thing that rhymes with bloke and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked how they talked, like they kind of talked down to Mark Alimo when he was there. I don't know if it was a joke or something, but they basically made Mark Alimo the toxic man and stuff. And I noticed that. I'm like, how can you talk to Ducat that way? He's a great actor, and he's been in every 80. He's been the villain, and he's been like the secondary villain in every 80s action movie. Come on, leave the guy alone. And then, of course, I met Andrew Robinson. I had nothing but positive things to say about Andrew Robinson when I met him at the Star Trek Vegas thing. But then they got all into, like, instead of talking about the character, they just talked about Garrick, they wanted him to be gay. I'm like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm like, there was more to the character than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was the character that always lied. You didn't know what he was going to do next. He's to me, he's the best character. He's probably the best character in the show. Every time he was there, I paid attention. He had a great chemistry with a lot of the other. He had great chemistry with Odo, Rene Auberjonois' character, especially in the episode Broken Link, where like Odo's trying to figure out, were you really? He's like, oh, I was a gardener before I was a tailor. Oh yeah, and I think you assassinated a Romulan. I I think you assassinated that Romulan dignitary. He's like, I don't know what you mean. I was just a gardener, plain simple Garrick.
Actually, speaking of that, you mentioned before. That's I think the best episode of of Deep Space Nine. It's In the Pale Moonlight. Where
Yeah.
Cisco tells in the flashback way when they basically had to assassinate the Romulan ambassador to get the Romulans in the war.
Yeah. What do you expect me to do? This was the way. It's a fake. It's a fake.
That was controversial at the time among Star Trek fans. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because Cisco was willing to. Cisco literally breaks the fourth wall. He's like, "Would I do it again?" And he looks, "Yes, I would."
Looks at the camera and says he would.
Mm-hmm. It was either that or keep, or it was either keep that, either do good or keep the war, do good and keep the war going, or do something a little bit, kind of off and save lives. It's not an easy decision. A lot of people have different viewpoints on that. So, depending on their personal beliefs, their political leanings, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's not just, there's no right or wrong. It's just one side or the other side. That's it. But the way the new Trek comes out now, the way new Trek presents arguments, there's only one side, and you're going to do this. You're going to believe this, or there'll be, we're going to go after you and stuff. Kind of like the Star Trek Twitter, group and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy. A lot of them are. I mean, some of them seem pretty cool, but a lot of them are. I try to steer clear of them. I read the tweets, but that's it. I don't follow them, and I hope they don't follow me. So, but let's see. Let's keep reading. So Chase says, speaking to a crowd of fans at the Deep Space Nine panel held at April 8th to 10th at the Mission Chicago Fan Convention, which I did not go to because I didn't even know about this. So Kira Nerys, Nana Visitor, Alexander Siddig, and Chase Masterson were asked if they would return to the Bajor orbiting space station. All three were open. Each posited their return would be conditional and on any future. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. If there's money involved, you're going to freaking do it. Kurtzman's going to pay you a lot of money. You're going to do it.
They're hoping that he would pay. That's why she's saying this. So she can, she's virtue signaling, say, "Hey, I'm down to clown. I'm with you. Give me a job." Because what else has she done over the past so many years that
Nana Visitor played very briefly in the rebooted 2009 Friday the 13th movie. She plays Mrs. Voorhees very briefly. Gets her head cut off. That's it.
So
and
we're not getting a lot of work.
Honestly, Betsy Palmer is the better Mrs. Voorhees. She's the OG Mrs. Voorhees, and that's
she
all
creeped me
that.
out.
She's. I still. People might laugh at me, but I think Mrs. Voorhees is scarier than Jason.
Well, certainly in the first four films.
But yeah.
I've seen all the Friday the 13th films. I used to be a big fan of the whole franchise. And
yeah. It's my guilty pleasure, too.
Okay. Obviously, spoiling this for anyone who's never seen these movies, but they're older than some of the people on the show, so we're going to have to spoil it. When she does what she does and kills people, and like it's Mrs. Voorhees, and everyone's like, she's a mom. Like, I
mean, it was they basically stole ideas from Psycho and they reversed them. So instead of it being the son, it was the mother that had the was crazy.
It was
crazy.
It was the son killing too, but it was the mom killing to protect the son.
In the original movie, the son is dead. The original idea was the son is dead, and the mother could not get over it, and so she, throughout the 20, 30 years, she murdered people, set fires, would not let the park let Camp Crystal Lake get reopened.
In the course of the first stage, before the mom was killed, even though we're seeing one movie, if you watch like the news reports or the one where the FBI shows up in I think it was part 7 or 8, so like even we might see 10 killings in one movie, but between them there's like hundreds of killings. Anyone who goes near that camp, you stay there more than an hour, you're dead.
Yeah, that's right. But people keep coming back anyways because we need a movie.
Let's go to Camp Blood.
Or teacher or teenagers.
Actually, children are the only who were never killed. Jason will not let anyone kill children. that was a theme of the first thing. You
I think it
danger
was
little
part
kid.
6. Yeah, part 6. I love part 6. How Jason walks into in part 6 there were actually children at the camp, little girls.
Yeah.
And Jason walks into the cabin. All the girls are asleep. One girl wakes up and she sees him and she starts praying to God. She closes her eyes and prays to God, and then she opens them. And he's gone. I couldn't believe. When I first saw it, I'm like, "Holy crap! What am I watching? What is going on here?"
The power of Jesus, right there, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
but if you got the franchise, Jason was a little kid killed by camp counselors and bad adults. So anyone at those camps who were like really, if you got to go back and watch it, knowing this now, but if anyone like messed with the little kids, like teasing or whatever, they got the most brutal killing in that thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
no one really got
Oh,
that
yeah.
till later when they saw Jason not kill any little kid at the 4 or 5 seasons of it, movies of it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. They. Yeah, that's. Yeah, Jason never did. Heck, even. Well, you know what? They broke that with Michael Myers. Now with the latest Halloween 2018, he killed a kid. He killed a kid. So that was. So that was. I was like, oh, this is gonna be different. So.
Now, Halloween it's one of my 5 favorite horror films of all time. Okay,
The first one, the John
first
Carpenter.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Same.
John
same
Carpenter
here.
is the best horror director and one of the best directors of all time.
He's one of my
his
top 5
movies,
directors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's actually just as an aside, he's putting out the he did the music for a lot of his movies. People didn't know.
Yeah, and the Halloween Kills one was great. I
Yeah.
loved it.
He's
You
putting
hear
out,
freaking chorus to the Halloween theme. I was like, yes, this is what I want to hear.
he's putting out a soundtrack to the movie Firestarter. But to get back to what I was saying about Halloween, like Halloween 4 was to me the proper conclusion of that series, right? And I understand Halloween 5 was an okay kind of movie. I didn't like when they turned the little girl into the next Michael Myers. That was kind of like pushing the concept of what the series was about. You know what I mean? And when they went on with Halloween 7 or whatever they're up to now, 8, not counting the reboots in the middle.
Halloween 7 was H2O. Halloween 8 was Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection. That movie
but
sucked.
there were like 2 reboot. There was like a reboot Halloween that Rob Zombie did, and a sequel to that.
I refuse to watch those. I've watched enough reviews of those movies. I refuse to watch.
Well, it was well done. It just wasn't Halloween. Like it was just.
It's Rob Zombie. It's basically Devil's Rejects, but in Haddonfield.
Well, yeah, but his movies are always well done. It's just he makes movies he wants to watch, and if you like what he wants to watch, I like some of it, then you'll watch them. I didn't. No, but to me, it wasn't a Halloween film because it lost some of the original sort of psychosis of the first 4 at least, and that's
The
why all these
atmosphere.
sequels,
Yeah.
like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, I think it's coming out now. It just came out, which I haven't
Yeah.
watched yet. If it's out already.
Halloween Kills? Yeah, that's been out. Halloween Ends comes out in the fall.
Yeah. So I'm like, to make these. Oh, like I think what the other you were talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. I think on a previous stream, that stayed consistent to itself, not counting the stupid reboot for all the original series. You know what I mean? There was a story there, and
Yeah.
same thing with Friday the 13th, not counting the reboot. There was a core story in there. Even the Jason in the future when they make Cyborg Jason, that kind of.
Jason X
Yeah.
is a treasure to mankind.
Yeah.
I know everyone's gonna hate me for saying that, but I love that movie. It's
a guilty
entertainment. It is extremely guilty pleasure,
When
and I
they
love
recovered-
every minute of it.
When they recovered Jason from in the block of ice, and I'm like, where could they possibly go? They're in the future. They have lasers and stuff. They could insta kill him, and then he gets upgraded. And I was like, yes, I was cheering. I was like, it's sometimes when they do that in a movie, like there's a really absurd horror film called Metal Beast, which is where scientists capture a werewolf and then it cybernetically enhance it to make the ultimate soldier, and nothing could go wrong with that, right?
I guess not. No, absolutely. Heck,
But
yeah.
that's like a subgenre of horror, and when you see them, when you get to one of those films, because a lot of times they don't get publicized, and you kind of watch all this another stupid werewolf film, and then in the middle of it is a cybernetic super werewolf, and it can become something else entirely. When you find those films, it's like Jason X was like that. You just sort of get a sort of thrill that, like, like the gore's going to a new level, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was saying that the Halloween to me lost its sort of core franchise bit after the fourth one. You know, like what the series was about. You know?
Yeah, I can believe that. To me, I feel like it ended with Halloween 2. Because that was John Carpenter basically staying up late to write it. So he had no other time during the day to write, so he had to stay up late to write it, and he would be drinking all these Budweiser. He'd be drinking all the Budweiser. I found a commercial I found a commercial, and I used that in my Halloween review to illustrate that. But I feel like Halloween 2 was the true end, and then I feel like they should have went in the anthology direction, because I love Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I think that is a very creepy
It is
movie, and
but
I love the premise and stuff.
if you go, I forgot the exact detail, but because I haven't seen Halloween 3 since like 1998 or something like that. Um, there's actually a connection to the Halloween series with that film. One of the characters in there is either related to or was in one of the first two Halloween films, something like that. I don't. I have to. I'll look it up and see if I can send you a DM like maybe tomorrow.
I remember Halloween 3. Yeah, Halloween 3 in the Halloween 3 universe, the first Halloween is a movie. And they hold the bad guys hold Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins is the hero in that movie. Yeah. Tom Atkins, they hold him. They have him tied up, and they're forcing him to watch the original Halloween, wearing a mask, or one of their silver shamrock masks. Now, in that movie, the silver shamrock, if you wear a silver shamrock on Halloween at the countdown, your face turns into bugs. Your face turns into like bugs, and you die and stuff. It was ridiculous, but yeah, and they kill a kid. They kill a kid in that movie. They kill a family, and it's messed up.
Yeah, even when I was a kid, I saw that. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Halloween 3 was great, but because there was no Michael Myers in it, so the movie didn't do well. Everyone was expecting to see Michael Myers. And then, of course, he had Mustafa Akkad. I like how, like, we were supposed to be talking about Deep Space Nine, but I ended up talking about Halloween because I brought up Friday 13th. So, but Mustafa Akkad, who ran the Halloween franchise, was the financier. Basically said, we're bringing back Michael Myers, and that's why Halloween 4 got made and stuff. And that's kind of why they kind of rebooted it and made it very, very similar to the first film again. He was simply, he didn't die. He was just in a coma. When you get burned, to a crisp, you were just in a coma. You're just in a coma.
Yeah,
they preserved
There's
you.
always a way around him dying. Always.
I mean, Michael. Yeah, you can never. I think Akkad himself said, we can never kill Michael Myers off. He's just too. He just makes us too much money.
Yeah, wasn't there like an H2O when they? Spoilers.
Yeah, they behead him. Yeah,
she cuts his head off, and then like later on, it's like, it was just
it was a different guy.
It was a different guy with the mask on. He put him in the mask, and he got pinned.
Yeah, that's the reason why I could not see Halloween Resurrection, was because of that. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing, because I thought H2O would have ended the series, Jamie Lee Curtis got him finally, and that was it. 20 years later, nice little tie up loose ends, and that's it.
Yeah,
and I didn't even know this, but H2O is not even a sequel. I don't even know I don't even understand how it's placed in the universe.
Well, the thing about Halloween, like I mentioned before, Michael Myers was the boogeyman. He shouldn't be killable or explainable, right?
Exactly. That's why John Carpenter was like, I don't want to write Halloween 2. The first movie was all I wanted to tell, all the story I wanted to tell.
You could do Halloween 2 and have another appearance of the boogeyman or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
just just do it. And
yeah,
sometimes that works for a franchise. If people don't realize this, like the Mad Max films, it's not necessarily the same character in those films. It is the same Mad Max, but the way they're told, and they're people after they recover from the apocalypse telling legends from the time of the apocalypse. That's why Max survives all that crazy stuff, because he's like a legendary hero. George Miller never explains it because he's not going to. He's telling you a legend.
Exactly.
Which is great.
And Mad Max 2 is still the best.
I think they're all great. They're all, to me, it's one series of legends. It's like saying
third one is weird. The third one is weird. The fourth one, I didn't like the cinematography so much. Too much shaky cam. I know George Miller was trying to do new stuff, more modern stuff. I didn't. After I thought it was okay, but Mad Max was barely in the movie. He was like a secondary character compared to Charlize Theron's character.
Yeah, it was about her mostly.
So
He had about the same role in every one of them. It's just people. We, like I said, it's he's there in the stories. It's like if you, well, I don't know if you guys had any like a Jesuit education, but we translated like hundreds of Hercules adventures or whatever. He's just there in the story because he's the legend, you know.
yeah,
And the Fury Road was great to me. Granted, I had to watch at home on my giant 4K monitor, sitting 2 feet away from it. I felt like I was in the truck, you know. So if you see on a big screen, maybe I could see a little bit, you know. But when I'm sitting there like 3 feet away from my monitor watching at 4K, you know, I'm partially disabled since for years now, and I'm like, I feel like I'm right there in it, you know. And my only complaint about Fury Road is when they slowed down. Like I would just prefer that whole movie to be like that end chase. You know what I mean? Just 2 hours of that, and I would have been cheering, you know.
yeah.
But, and plus, there's the lore immersion to it. Like Miller must spend like I don't know, like on his odd days doing the Tolkien version of I'm going to invent the whole sub language for this region of apocalyptic Australia, you know, and like the names like he gives Immortan Joe. How would you come up with that as a character? Like, what were you doing? Think, I'm going to make Immortan Joe, you know?
Yeah, and I realized it, but it's the same actor that played the villain in the very first Mad Max.
Yeah.
The biker leader or something.
Yeah. Oh, what was his name? I gotta watch it again now because my the fact when I don't remember stuff, I go rewatch the movie or read the book. He had a really weird name too, you know. But it just and then the whole spray painting your face to go to Valhalla. Man.
Yeah, that was a very like there's even though I think Mad Max 3 is weird, there's a lot of interesting. He puts a lot of interesting ideas. Like I forget what the kids were based off of, but the kids were based off of some sort of cult in the third movie Beyond Thunderdome, where they're waiting for like a I don't know if it's not quite biblical. It was something else.
Well, remember they're telling a legend, right? So
Yeah,
there was
legend.
Since that's volume 3 of the legend, let's say they had a prophecy that someone would take them to the promised land with all those drawings and stuff. And again, he doesn't explain it because this is a legend. You don't explain what happened; you just show it. You know?
Yeah, show don't tell.
Yeah, and well, not show don't tell. That's an explanation. Though. You explain it by showing it. Like with a legend, like you know, what's another example that like Star Wars, the original 3 Star Wars, the OT, so to speak. He didn't bother explaining what the Force was or whatever. It was just there, you know. And he never bothered explaining how you could have a space station that big, you know, actually work. You just put it on the screen and had a great, you know what I mean? And it was fun, you know. That's the type of filmmaking that doesn't. It's not really the last couple of years. It seems like it just evaporated, you know. Like the Northman's supposed to be in that line of that vein. It's based on an old The Legend of Amleth from something Denorum. It's like the third book, third or fourth oldest set of records of Scandinavian myths and stuff. But maybe that film will finally be one of these nice legendary don't explain it films. You know, I don't know. Then we get a lot of Drek.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's complete this. So, rounding out the trio set of answers Masterson put forth, I would want to make sure that Lita, I don't think they need me anymore to be any kind of thing other than a strong character. And I think if it had something to do with social justice, it could work, she continued. But anything else, I think we've already done that. I think moving along the social justice narrative in terms of Latinum not being the focus on Ferenginar, that I'd like to do. No. That's Latinum is always Latinum is always the focus of Ferenginar. So yeah, that's not going to work. And they have already kind of did that. They already did social justice stuff with DS9 anyway, with like the women's rights, I think.
Yeah, they went
Ishka-
women's lib
Ishka.
on
Yeah.
Ferenginar towards the end there.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
so
they formed a union. Works.
exactly. Yeah, and the
Waiters
union
and
is
double
like
girls formed a union.
forming a union is like worse than treason in Ferenginar. Okay, I think, but yeah, I mean, I don't
I've
know.
seen Chase Masterson, I think her name is, in probably like 2 or 3 dozen of her, like, 'cause she does a lot of the genre roles in various sci-fi and fantasy
Yeah.
shows. And she always plays, I don't want to say she always plays space prostitutes, but it's not like she plays, icons of women's rights in every single thing she does, right?
Yeah,
So I honestly find it a little hypocritical for her to come out now and say she wants to do this when her whole career has been about just making money off her looks and and like playing the same character in every single thing she does.
yeah, that's the problem. You
Well,
want
she typecast. It ain't her fault.
so given the direction of current Star Trek series such as Discovery and especially Picard, whose current season sees half of its story taking place in modern-day Los Angeles and tackling issues such as immigration and political division, with all the grace expected of of a modern Hollywood production. If a DS9 continuation ever gets greenlit, Masterson will more than likely get her wish. What do you think of Masterson's condition to return for DS9? I don't want to think about it. I'm done.
He
I
doesn't
don't
need to
wanna
be
see it.
on it.
I do
Yeah.
not want to see it.
And they're gonna bring Deep Space Nine back. They already started bringing back Voyager through Prodigy. They're gonna figure out some way to bring Deep Space Nine back, and I don't know. Or maybe Ronald D. Moore will get what he wants. Maybe he was all for the idea of rebooting Star Trek in the first place with Abrams and stuff. So I'm not so keen on him either. To be perfectly honest,
I
based on what I've heard him say. In
Which one
interviews.
was the guy in the documentary with the purple hair?
Ira Stephen Burr?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy's not right in the head.
Well, I mean, yeah, he ran Deep Space Nine, and Deep Space Nine was, there was a lot. It was Rick Berman had his hands off of that, hence why they were able to do so many things with that show, as
Yeah.
opposed to Voyager, which Voyager was forced to be more like TNG, as opposed to taking some risks and making Voyager a survival series, kind of, similar to the Xindi arc in Enterprise.
Yeah, it worked fine for most of it, but they wanted to do way more social crap in the show than they were allowed to do.
Yeah,
And if he had his way, it would be a lot different than what it was.
and I mean, there were great. Go ahead.
And originally, Year of Hell was supposed to be a season-long story arc for Voyager.
Yeah,
well,
that would have been a great story arc.
Voyager got hurt because of the United Paramount Network. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
the flagship of it, and a lot of stuff got overruled by the network executives paying for it. And I'm not going to defend Voyager or even parts of Deep Space Nine that I didn't like, but start by, and I'm not going to. Okay, so Star Trek between 1989 and like 2 months ago
2000, yeah,
was owned by 3 different companies.
yeah.
so-
You had Viacom, you had
Well,
CBS,
Viacom,
and Paramount.
CBS, and Paramount, and and there's been multiple Viacoms and multiple Paramounts in there. So,
Yeah.
again, it took me 25 minutes and 3 videos to put that out. So I'm not going to kill the time here, but when that all happened in the late '90s, early 2000s, you couldn't have Star Trek TV was not allowed to do certain things, and Star Trek movies were allowed to do certain things without the other one's permission. They couldn't use certain characters. They couldn't have certain types of themes and whatever. And some of the limitations of Voyager, aside from the UPN stuff, there were limitations on. I think it was that the Star Trek TV shows couldn't have changed the setting in any way that conflicted with the movies, for example. Like,
Yeah,
they couldn't have a war that would blow up the Earth or something like that, and to be extreme about, the thing they couldn't do. Whereas movies could change the setting, but they couldn't conflict events depicted in the TV show or whatever. You know, so it was just stupid and convoluted, and hopefully with Paramount being one company now from three, Star Trek will, and now obviously JJ, not Abrams, who's the other guy?
Alex Kurtzman,
Yeah, his company has Star Trek.
Huntsman, wherever you call him.
Yeah, he does. He's doing all these shows and the animated stuff, and he has like at least 5 more years of Star Trek rights. So hopefully, after he's done with it, the only other person who could do Star Trek, I think, is JJ because he has that movie license.
Yeah.
So hopefully, 5 years from now, assuming we live long enough to see it, so Paramount will get all the rights back and reboot Star Trek completely, and we can forget about this.
Paramount's still Paramount, though. Unless they change their philosophy, it's not going to get any better. And after 5 years, it really needs to take a break.
Well, no, the thing is, remember, for the last 30 years, it's been three companies with conflicting legal. They would sue each other over Star Trek, like over merchandising and all sorts of stuff. It was very stupid for that 30 or so year period, and so now it's one company. So hopefully that means one person could have Star Trek with all the rights, no limitations, and hopefully it'll be in the post-woke era. In hopefully 5 years from now.
Yeah, you gotta pray for that. But Paramount is the same company that made Halo, so
We don't even know if Paramount's going to be around in 5 years.
Oh, they will.
I mean, they couldn't get a loan for the fourth movie and stuff, and they were expecting their actors to take pay cuts, and the actors are like, heck no, we're not taking any pay cuts, and they walked away from the negotiating table, and good for them. But I wanted to wrap this up and with one final thing I wanted to talk about, and that is Lightyear. Have you guys seen the new trailer for Lightyear?
I have not.
Nope.
no.
So I would love to I'd love to show it, but they're playing music once again. They were playing pop music. At least I think they were. Or no,
I think
maybe
they do
weren't.
that just to mess everybody on YouTube up.
Yeah, that's probably why they do it. So, so what did you? I'm just curious. I saw the trailer, and I saw the dynamic. Like he's doing the first thing I thought when I saw the trailer, he's doing a log and stuff because that's what Buzz Lightyear does. He's your sci-fi hero, and he does log entries and stuff. And the girl here reminded me of what's her name from Lower Decks and laughed at him for making a log entry and stuff. And I'm like, what is this? What is with this type of attitude in writing now? That you have to make fun of stuff that is pretty standard to what came before and stuff. And the thing is, Buzz Lightyear is based off of your Flash Gordon, your Buck Rogers type of story. I want to see something that resembles. I want to see something that resembles that type of story. Very action heavy, epic, and without the dumb humor. If you're gonna have humor, make it like a cheesy looking ship or something, or cheesy outfits, or cheesy bombastic dialogue. But that's it. No dumb jokes like they keep doing with typical modern children's entertainment. And this was the one thing that annoyed me about the Sonic movie as well. So I just wondered if you guys had any thoughts. And of course, they got rid of Tim Allen. This time it's Chris Evans.
They got rid of Tim Allen. I mean, I'm assuming his voice hasn't gone or whatever. He can still do the voice. So there's wokeism right there, So.
Yeah, I think because Tim Allen's on a particular side of he has certain political leanings that don't necessarily gel with a certain Disney company. So I'm guessing that's part of the reason why they didn't bring him back, and instead they bring in Chris Evans.
Yeah, who has totally opposite.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, can I just say one thing? Because hello everyone, hello Pacific, Anonymous, Matt and Burble, and Nerdporeal. They could that moment when she made a joke, I would have ended it with, "I'm doing this law because we could be killed gruesomely, and somebody need to be like, this is how because we all know how those kind of things were. A journal that you actually do as you explore something new. So anybody else that can come back right there knows what the hell are they gonna find when they come to this planet. So it's normal for a captain or whatever, army or whatever, to do those kind of journals just in case that somebody else has to explore that kind of planet, see whatever, just in case that they have an advice or something that somebody actually see it first. So why would she make a joke? It's something so useful to everyone, even to her, because someday she will probably like go walk, whatever, and she will have a journal of somebody that actually explored it first.
Yeah, I mean, they
Did you
even
never
if you
read
watch
the book?
if you watch if you watch Better Call Saul, attorneys do it too, to keep track of everything that they're doing and stuff.
I mean,
it's not.
It's like writing a book that you actually have to study to understand
Yeah.
because somebody else explored it first. So it's sometimes I just wonder how humor has become so simple that sometimes jokes just don't hit yourself. They have
Well, it's
lost
because of who they hire. It's because who they hire to write this stuff. I mean, the people that
Yeah.
they hire to write this stuff just it's very cookie cutter at this point.
Yeah, let's just be honest. This is not necessary. This will not be good. I know for a fact. It's gonna be complete pandering after all.
I mean,
So,
I
yeah.
don't know if I mean, I think it'll be. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the same as. I think it's going to be the same type of stuff as Sonic. The only difference was the way the Sonic director addressed himself in front of fans of the series and stuff. Whereas I mean, I just think it's going to be the same typical run of the mill humor, like just it doesn't look. It's not nothing. This is not unique at all. I'm not even. I can't even. Because I was a kid when Toy Story came out. I love the original. I love the first three movies, especially the third one. The third one
Yeah,
makes
third
me
one.
every third one pulls at your heartstrings. But the first one was the one that I really liked and stuff. And seeing this, I mean, I'm guessing like I mean, there's a potential that it could be decent. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll pull a Clone Wars, and maybe it'll be a decent. Maybe it'll be be done in the spirit of the old serials. Will it? No, because the old serials are considered problematic, politically not quite politically correct enough and stuff.
Let's just gonna be honest. After Toy Story 4, I was done with whatever they could actually release.
I didn't
that
even see Toy
wasn't-
Story 4.
Never see it. It's unnecessary. It doesn't add anything at all. And just simple. Like, who cares? I finished that movie. Was like, this was useless. It didn't add anything to the story, and they just started like making. Anyway, never watch it. And this is the same. This is not necessary to the story. It could have been better, but whatever.
Look at this. It's in the same
The
freaking.
heck?
It's in the same freaking search. Somebody likes Toy Story and Alien.
That is great.
That is
That's great.
creepy. That is creepy. Actually, looking at it, that's creepy as hell.
I love it because it makes so much sense inside that world. It would be funny if that happened.
If
but,
your
yeah.
kids are if your kids are watching, please close their eyes. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, that's I love the. I mean, this is a cool poster. I love the poster. I did not even realize this was Buzz, because I always thought Buzz just had a purple head. He just had a purple head like he did and stuff. But yeah, well, no, it was definitely No, it was definitely in the flight. It's not. It's just something I don't know if I'm gonna get used to. And of course, there's a cute little cat creature robot thing. I don't know what it is.
New merchandise. That's
Am
what
I gonna? Yeah, it's definitely for the kids. Now,
Yeah,
do I
somebody sell
think?
toys for.
Well, now the question is, will I? Hey, there's Tim Allen. But will I watch it? Probably not. I'm not gonna judge it right away. But I'm not interested in stuff. I know. I'm guessing most of the people are gonna be watching are people that grew up with Toy Story, that really enjoyed the movies, and it's probably gonna be adults. It's like it with all the other shows now. Disney Plus is mainly watched by adults. It's not watched by kids. Kids are off on their phones or playing video games.
I'll be controversial here and say I only ever watched the first one just because my other family were there when watching it. I almost hate Pixar's animation style. I grew up with anime and Looney Tunes, so this
Oh
is
yeah.
you know I hate these like weird distorted faces and stuff. I just can't stand it. But
Oh, okay.
so well yeah, so I did see the first one. I recognize it's a well done film. I'm not going to say it's a bad film or anything like that. You know, but on the point you were making about adults watching it, there's a long running cartoon series called The Land Before Time, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're up to the 14th one. There might be another one coming out in the next year or two.
Another one. I
Yeah,
gotta find that
my
one.
little brother is I think he's 30 now, right? And he was like 2 when the first one came out, and every time one comes out, he because I have like I share my media collection through Plex with him. He's like, Matt, you have to get the next Land Before Time. You have to get it for me. He's like 30 now, and he's an adult going back to those films, and he still loves them, you know. And I have a funny feeling that for 2016, but that's the last one that's out. But I think that I saw
Yeah.
some rumor last year that they're going to try to make another one, you know, like
Really?
another batch of them, basically.
I'll be honest. The Land Before Time came out. I think I remember getting the VHS. Like I think when I was 5, because this
Well,
was
still
like
up.
1980. Yeah, this was 1988. And
Yeah.
I'll say this. This was one of the earliest movies I learned about the concept of death.
Yeah,
And I didn't quite understand it. I didn't understand what happened to Littlefoot's mother and stuff. But every time I rewatch it now as an adult, I understand it, and it's tugs at the heartstrings. I love this. I love this movie. I love the other big Don Bluth movie, which was An American Tale
yeah,
with,
Yeah.
with Fievel and stuff.
Yep, this your generation's version of Bambi.
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
sing it because I don't want to get you struck. But there are no cats in America. You know that song.
Yep, there are no cats in America. Yeah,
Sure.
I remember.
There goes your monetization, buddy. 3 seconds, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I think, the Buzz, the Lightyear thing. I mean, I can only hope that they take some inspiration from the old 30s science fiction serials, which Buzz Lightyear is obviously based on. So, and I hope that you can draw from the past. You don't have to go and say, hey, the stuff was bad then, it's still bad now and stuff. The stuff wasn't bad, the stuff was just different. And instead of denouncing or omitting what came before, just build up on it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same,
Yeah.
but it still has to resemble what it used to be.
Well, this new Toy Story it isn't a real sequel. It's the woke people trying to make their sequel. Like, it's like their episode 8 and episode 9. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever you want to consider the most woke version of the MCU, like the Shang-Chi and the Scarlet Witch. They aren't real sequels. They're woke sequels.
Yeah. Oh well. So, but yeah, that's basically all I really have to say. Is there anything you guys want to state before before I close off the stream, because I got stuff I gotta do. I only wanted to do this for a couple hours, anyways.
Just remember that they're going to follow through and put the lesbian kiss back in the Lightyear.
Yep.
It just won't be in the Chinese version.
Yeah,
No.
it won't be. We can we can download the Chinese version, so we don't have to have that.
Yeah, but then
Okay,
they added out the black character in the Chinese version.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
well, there's two of
Okay.
them.
I'm just gonna say one thing about this, and this is the funny part: is why did they make this? What's the point? Why, if they're gonna make this, are they gonna make a Woody movie or not? Because Woody actually had a show before inside the story. Lightyear didn't have one. He was actually a new character that came without a show in the first movie, and in the second, I think they show only Woody's story, and in the third one, nothing at all. So this, I still don't understand this, because this should be actually another universe, just to make sense, because Lightyear will be like a real spaceman. So
Well, they don't care about making sense. They're making this to make their woke take on it. And they're not. And these companies, many of whom support those sort of things, are willing to pay for it, and we're seeing, get woke, go broke is a real thing now. So hopefully that'll change.
Even if that is part of the of the equation, I still think that no, you're right. I was gonna say something so stupid, and then I rethink it, and it's, yeah, you're right. They don't care about money anymore. So
Well, they're like
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck. They're rolling in so much money from the previous stuff that now they think they don't understand how they made the money. By
No.
entertaining the masses, right? And now the masses aren't watching it. Uh, Netflix has taken a massive hit because of their woke turn. I think Jeremy from the Quartering just did a video on that.
yeah,
And hopefully the economics. Then again, they're going to try to force people to watch this stuff. That's their next. With pushing people off of media who don't adhere to their line. Trying to suppress alternative media. They're going to force this to be the only entertainment and try to propagandize children, and that's as political as I'm going to get in this.
Yeah. Let's,
okay,
let's tone this down. Let's tone this down.
can we make a conjecture? How long before they put it on Disney Plus? How much do you think they're gonna take? Like,
Well, isn't it going to come on Disney Plus?
I really think they were gonna have to release it eventually, because if they don't make the money, by via ads and all that, and people going to the movies, probably they're gonna release it eventually. The same
Probably
thing.
45 days after.
I think in 3 months, perhaps, or 4 as much. Once the all the box office and everything is done, they're gonna eventually put it there. I think.
Yeah. So, there's just one little bit of news that I wanted to cover really quickly. Apparently, there's a rumor, because I'll just say this: the Nintendo Switch Online is crap. Like, they release like a game like every the online has been done. The online's been out for over 3.5 years, and you only have like a handful of games on each platform. And Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Now, we had Sega Genesis. We had N64. We're gonna charge you more than double. We're gonna charge you more than double of what the original cost was. So the original cost was like $20 for a year. Well, now with the N64 and the Sega Genesis, we're going to charge an additional $35 a year. And everyone's like, what the hell? Like, seriously. And then they're still doing this thing where they're releasing like crappy games like once a month or once every other month. They won't even commit to doing releases monthly. And then they don't even release games that people want. So as much as anyone might like Solomon's Key, a lot of people don't care about Solomon's Key. People would rather get Castlevania. Some people would rather get Mega Man, or some Square or Final Fantasy or something. And Nintendo can do it. I don't know what's keeping them, but that's just my final rant for the day. Is that I mean, the stuff that they have on now is decent, but come on, Nintendo, release Super Mario RPG already.
They're trying to get as much out of it as possible, or keep stringing people along, but they're doing it all wrong, and they're stupid, I guess. I mean, I don't understand the thought process behind it, but I know corporate America. I've been in corporate America, and they simply do not have any common sense, and when one leader in that company has an idea, most of them yes men, totally yes
sir,
men.
yes sir, that's a great
We'll
idea,
do what
sir.
you want. Then they'll go back to their offices and like,
I just thought I would have. You know what? I was just thinking that too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes sir,
Of course. So apparently,
I'm gonna be completely honest. That's another thing, because any kind of company is doing right now this. I bought an SNES Mini, the original SNES Mini, and they didn't have. Yeah, and they don't have in the America. The America version doesn't have Chrono Trigger. You gotta be shitting me! It's one of the greatest games of the Super Nintendo, and I can play it. The same happened with the Mega Drive. They have like 43 games, and like 8 of them are not useful at all. Nobody played it, and they miss games like Yes, and they missed even Restart. Restart, goddammit! The best game of the Sega Genesis, including Rocket Knight Adventure, Sparkster, Street of Rage. They are classic games. They didn't have even add it, not even in the Japanese version. So how do you expect they do a great decision like putting games into the Switch? We know they're gonna they're gonna start putting in things and nobody's gonna play it at all. So yeah.
Yeah.
Even on the Switch right now, I have more. I'm playing a game from PlayStation 2 that has been remastered in PlayStation 4 and then into the Switch. So yeah, they're not doing a really good job. Even the greatest games, I think, Xenoblade Chronicles is only Xenoblade 2, as perhaps it every time and again they add some kind of new game, but they're still making remix of remix of remix, even inside the Switch. So yeah, there we have another one. Why would I play Crystal? Is Scat.
I have to play that. I've heard this is a good one. I gotta play it.
It's a no game that you can actually play it anywhere. It's
Yeah.
like, what would I play? Okay, Mega Mans are great. We have Mega Man, we have some.
They
kind
don't
of,
have. That's the thing. They don't. Somebody made this. Somebody made
are you really?
There's no. There is no Mega Man. They did not release any Mega Mans because they I guess they don't want to pay Capcom they don't want to pay Capcom whatever Capcom wants to license it on this platform and stuff.
What is that game with the frog with the Japanese Shalico game? What the hell is that?
I think it's isn't it? That's not. Is that Frog? No, it's not.
No,
Frogger.
Frogger. It can be Frogger. It has a ninja and a girl and what? I don't know what that is.
I have no idea. And that's the other thing. They will have Japanese games, but they won't freaking translate them. I'm like, why even freaking have them if you're not going to even bother patching a translation or something? Like seriously.
If it is a platform game, I don't mind. It's like, okay, it's a platform game. We can like understand it somehow.
But like even like the start or the select and all like there's like yeah.
But if it is like an RPG like Chrono Trigger, I imagine if they put it in Japanese, I will never play it. I don't understand it.
You have no idea what's going on. Like who speaks Japanese? I mean, who unless you're a super nerd, and stuff, and you know Japanese. My buddy. Did he helped fan sub stuff, and he didn't know, like, he knew enough Japanese to be able to fan subs quite a bit of anime and stuff, but yeah so I don't know what to say, but yeah, we're about to end. So I'll just let DJ Ronnie G on just for this heck of it. What's up, man? We're about to close. He came right when we're about to end.
I kind of got the hint when I saw you guys wrapping up a minute ago. I just wanted to test out my new microphone, and I think it works. It's a little deeper on the bass. It's like a broadcast mic, but I mean, if you can hear me, then it's working. Right?
You're a little low.
What?
You're
What?
a little low.
I'm a little low.
Huh?
So
I
that,
can't hear you, dude.
What?
I don't know if you're pulling my leg now, but
I am. I
okay,
clearly
no,
am.
it might be low because it could be low. I mean, really, because I could bring it up enough to 20%. So I don't want to blow up anyone's eardrum. But other than that, good talk. And shoot, I wanted to chime in on one part of it. I can't remember what, but I will say that I enjoy playing Mobile Suit Gundam, Zeta Gundam Hot Scramble for NES. That's a game that I don't think they ever sold here, but
Oh no.
it's like it's got fake 3D graphics, and when you're flying the side-scrolling levels, your mobile suit could turn into a wave rider. It goes from mobile suit
Core
mode to-
booster? Isn't it called a core
It's similar
booster?
to the core booster. It might even be the core booster because I remember in Zeta Gundam they had the wave
Yeah.
rider, which was basically like a core booster, but I think it was
Yeah.
like another component, but same concept, so I
Yeah.
liked it a lot, and I think they did translate it as a matter of fact. So you know what? I throw what I said out the window about it not being translated. So with that, I don't want to hold you all up, but good talk, and I may be wind of this later, but yeah.
All right, well,
Good job,
thanks
Lewis.
for
Short
Yeah.
but pointless.
thanks for thanks for that. But yeah, everybody. I am right now. I am basically editing my. I'm editing my Dirty Harry video. So I already recorded myself. I'm just putting in video and pictures and images and stuff, and then I got to make a thumbnail for that, and I should be done with that. But other than that, yeah, I'm not doing a stream on Saturday. I'm going to be resuming I'm probably gonna do another video game stream. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But I played Kirby on Sunday. I played the new Kirby on Sunday. It was my second my second playthrough. And for some reason that stream is blowing up. Like it's already at right before I started the stream here, it was at 666 views.
Wow.
Well, I don't know
Oh.
why. I have not ever had a game stream go that high. I don't know what's going on. Not even my Better Call Saul stream from last Monday talking about the premiere got that high. And it got high.
Apparently, a lot of people like Kirby.
I was gonna say you're playing
First
the right
video
game
didn't-
at the right time.
Part one didn't do. Part one only got like 50 views, so I don't know what's going on. Part one only got 50 views, and this was right after it came out. So I'm kind of surprised. So
It could also be the tags that you're using too.
I don't think I'm using any tags for. I don't, that's the weird thing. Whenever I use tags, I don't get anything. And whenever I don't, it works. I don't know. It's weird. So I just basically reuse what I did before. It's no different. So I don't know what's going on this time. So I didn't even promote it at all. So. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. So Better Call Saul's gonna be my next stream. I had nothing planned for tonight, but since I generally do Thursday streams anyways, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna steal Mike's idea, and I'm gonna do a pop talk. But I'm not gonna call it pop talk because I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike from Mike. So I called it a chill chat instead.
No, but it's fun doing these types of streams, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I probably should plan better. I should probably plan better and stuff. But yeah, it's fun to have a once in a while have an open stream and stuff.
Yeah, you get all the looky loos that never get on a stream.
Exactly. So, anyone else have anything they want to promote?
Yeah, just gonna say that shame that I couldn't be here when you were talking about Sonic Origins because I'm gonna buy the game. So yeah.
Oh yeah, same here. I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna stream it. The question is, I don't know which platform I should buy it on. I don't know if I should buy it for Windows or for Steam or use my capture card and hook it up to my PS5 or hook it up to my PS5 and use my capture card to connect to that or whatnot. But
I just know that I'm gonna buy it for the Xbox Series X because my brother has an Xbox One and he can use my account to play it. So we're gonna share that.
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I didn't think they were ever going to do it, but they did it. They made a full anniversary version of Sonic 3. It's going to be widescreen and all. And I hope they keep all the music, all
Question,
the Michael Jackson stuff.
Did you hear the crushing the 30s from the anniversary of the 30 years of Sonic? The song?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't think it would take this long. I thought it was going to come out sooner, but because I covered that very direct last year. It was like my 5th or 6th video that I ever did. So it was my first unscripted video. So and I like I said earlier, I got the part of the announcement was the Sonic Encyclopedia. So which I still have yet to read. I buy all these books now. I don't even freaking read them. I just have them. So.
Dude, I want more games that I can ever play, so I was just saying.
The same here. I got piles and piles of games. I wish I could just like freeze time and play everything and then just come back to it. Kind of like in Year of Hell. I kind of want to have all the time in the universe and stuff. But yeah, anything else anybody wants to promote and stuff before we leave for the night?
I'd say check out my channel, but probably most everybody here has already seen it. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that I'm deferring a lot of game purchases. Like I wanted to buy Red Dead 2 or something for Nintendo Switch, but I'm deferring the purchase because I'd rather buy it on Steam because once I get a Steam Deck, whenever that ships next year, even if it doesn't work on the Steam Deck directly, I can use remote to play it remotely. So it seems like, do I buy the game twice? No, of course not. So I got to make a decision: buy it for Nintendo, buy it on Steam, and that's where I'm at with a handful of games right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mostly buy it for Nintendo since I have a Nintendo Switch, but I understand your point. I still have Red Dead Redemption on almost all consoles because I have it on PlayStation 4, Xbox, and in the Steam. So if they start releasing the Steam Deck, it will be great. But I'm in Argentina; it's probably gonna take some years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else?
Oh, just check
No.
out my channel. I'm sure there's something on there that you might like, and even if you don't, stop on by. Maybe I can bring you into the 414.
What's the
Yeah.
414? I always wondered what that was.
Hey, it's just a little thing I'm coming up with. It's just like my little slogan now. I'm not
Is it,
just
is
a
it, is, it,
baseball
is, it,
guy.
is it a club? Is it a club? Is it a club that and that only a few people can access?
You could say that. You could say that.
Okay,
You're already a part of it. So
I am,
yeah.
but I haven't been branded yet, so I'm not truly a member. I have to have like a brand on my neck like a certain guy named Guts.
We're just gonna put a helmet full of bees, and you have to scream, "Not the bees!" and you'll be in the room, you know.
All right, so everybody, anything else?
I think we're good.
All
We're
right.
good.
Okay. All right, guys. Then everybody, chat. Thanks for coming by. Let's. I'll do this again sometime. Hopefully, I think next week I'm probably going to continue sci-fi chat. I'm going to think of a movie and invite whoever I think is best person to have a conversation with, and I'll just have to take it from there. I need to plan better. I need to plan these things better. So. But yeah, memberships. I have the names for memberships. I'm sure if you were on my server, you know what those memberships names are. The only thing I gotta do is create emojis and other stuff to kind of go with it. So stay tuned for memberships. Because once you're a member of Nerdporeal's family, you're in for life. Just like the cartel. No, I'm kidding. I
tried to get out,
You
but
can.
you pulled me back in.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. But yeah, you can. You can. If you can unsubscribe whenever you want and stuff. But I'll keep a note. Who it does.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, and if you stay long enough, I'll get you a members only jacket.
I had one. I don't want.
If you like if you watch The Sopranos, that is. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I have a Soprano jacket that my mom got while working for the cable company like 20 years ago. Basically, selling off HBO, they give you a free jacket.
All right. So, okay, guys, everyone,
Good night, everybody.
Have a very good Nerdporeal night.
You too.
At all.
See ya, man.